Hello, everybody. Yes, I think we're live. Hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on what time you're watching this. Welcome. Still waiting for people to start to join. I know there's a bit of a delay. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Diligent Hands, welcome. Welcome. DJ Muscle, nice to have you here. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to our sewing chats. My special guest today is Diligent Hands Fabric. Her name is Fola, actually. Diligent Hands Fabric, and she's in the room. So yes, we're about to start. Good afternoon. Thank you, Ashwebi Factory XUIZI. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. DJ Muscle, I see you there. Thank you very much. Our favorite DJ. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Right. I think we should just get right into it. Like I said, we're having a chat about sewing today, and Fola is here. So if you can please request to join. I'm getting used to this, but I think yeah, from yesterday I've learned a few things, so it should be alright. So if you click on I think there should be something on your screen, or maybe I can request for you. Let me see. Yes, I think I have clicked the right thing. Yay! Hello. Yay!
We did.
Hello. Yes, you look amazing. Wow.
I took my time.
Wow, you look fabulous.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
Good. Oh, thank you, DJ Muscle. We sure will.
Being a guest on a live, so I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I'm used to just click something and then show up. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we're on. I can see you. You can see me, I believe. So I think it's working. Yeah. Welcome. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm so grateful that you're here. The Billionaire Mom Coach, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. So we're just going to get right into it. I'll introduce myself. My name is 𝒂𝒂 𝒒𝒂 for anyone that doesn't know me, and I'm the owner of My Fruitful Fingers. And with me today, I've got Fola, who I will allow her to introduce herself in a bit. But just to say why we're doing this, I don't know if you all know that this month is sewing month. And I've got some lovely friends that love sewing as much as I do. So I thought it would be nice to bring as many of us as can come on live and just have a chat about sewing and our love for sewing. So yeah, that's why we're here. So welcome, everybody. Thank you, Darren's Kitchen, for being here. Dr. Bola, I see you there. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Okay, Fola, I'll hand over to you. I know you're a very busy person. And I know your small bosses will soon be here, so we better just hurry up and be quick. Yeah, so please introduce yourself to our audience.
So hello everyone, my name is Fola Ogundari, and I work in a small business because I consider myself one of the employees of Diligent Hands Fabrics. And so I work in this business called Diligent Hands Fabrics, which is an African fashion business, and basically taking feedback from the gap in the market and wanting to source ethical, fashion goods. I decided to start this business. It's something that I did when I was living in Nigeria, and I did it for a couple of years, and I totally enjoyed it. I always enjoy sourcing trips, traveling to one country, going from market to market, looking out for products that are distinct. And when I came to the UK, it felt like I don't think anybody will want to wear Ankara fabric, or most people anyway know, where to get Ankara fabric from. Why would they want to shop with me? So for many years, I just left it on the side. And then when my mom had come to help me with my first child, when she was going back, she said she wanted to buy English wax. I was like, what is English wax? And she kept on going about it, the wax they sell here in England, English wax and all that. And so after asking a couple of people, they told me to go to Liverpool Street, and there I would see, a couple of, options and all that. And to my amazement, I got to Liverpool Street, which is here in London, and we saw lots of shops. It was like a street lined with shops on the left and to the right, selling Ankara prints. And I'm like, really? So people actually make a business of doing this. Why did I ever stop doing it? Thinking that, nobody was going to want it from me. So when she'd gone back to Nigeria, I got a couple of prints to start me off, but I was doing the reverse at the beginning. So I did sending stuff to Nigeria to sell. So sending prints from Netherlands to Nigeria to sell. Because that for them was more the authentic mini Hollandaise vibe. And so I had lots of customers on a prepay who I would buy stuff for and send it there. Then something happened to the Naira, and it's still happening to the Naira. And because of that, I had to, in order not to totally lose my business, I had to start thinking of sourcing the other way around. And then, as you grow older, your eyes become more open. So a lot of things are around you. And I was saying, rather than collect money from struggling economies, why don't we collect products from economies that would benefit from it and bring it to a place where there's an obvious gap and where there's a demand for it, and people really want that authentic flavor. And so that's how I restarted my business circa 2017 ending. I got my first batch of products from Nigeria, and then I just started to sell. So here we are.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's so nice to hear the background, like how it all, happened and the journey. It's really interesting. And I know what you mean. Like sometimes you think, oh, who will be interested in this thing, especially when it's something you're so used to. You don't know that a lot of people would need it. And I mean, yeah, well done, well done. I don't know if you can see what I'm wearing. I deliberately made the effort. I thought I must wear something.
I'm more of a jumper person, but I thought, if we're going to, talk a bit about my business, African fashion, I might as well just make the effort to wear something more in tune with the culture. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, lovely, lovely. Welcome, everyone. I see more people joining us. Thank you very much for being here with us. We really appreciate you spending your lunchtime with us today. Okay, so thank you, Fola. You've told us a little bit about yourself and also a little bit about your business. Thank you, DJ Moso. He said that was on point.
Thank you.
Yes, it was on point. Yeah, you've told us a bit about yourself and a bit about your business, and we're still going to go a little bit into the business, the fabrics and all of that. But before we go there, as it's sewing month, I want us to touch on the sewing aspects. And I've seen your products that you make, lovely, very handy, very useful products that you sew as part of your business. Why and how did you, get into sewing? What made you go into it?
How much time do you have for me to start telling you about?
Don't worry, carry on.
So basically, sewing had always been all around me. When I was in primary school, I came back one day to my room and I saw this machine which my mom told us nobody should go near or touch. I saw my mom with lots of brown paper cuts and doing lots of stuff. My mom made all our school uniforms when I was in secondary school. Of course, it's not going to be the most stylish one you want. It's not going to have all the funky things you want. But she made my school uniform, my day wear. So my mom would make what she's going to wear on the day. She's the person that will wake up at 6:30, and her sewing machine was in our room. So she'll wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and it's that woo 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 sound that is going to wake you up. She start practice the night before and piece everything together in the morning. So it had always been there. And honestly, at the point when I didn't get my JAMB score right the first time and the second time, I actually considered doing sewing. But I said to myself, if I mentioned this to my mom, she'd probably kill me. Like, you don't want to go to school.
I can imagine, I know, right?
So I never really got it out, but there was a lot of interest in what she was doing. I liked the creative element. I always thought, oh, maybe something could be improved on, or I would have done it differently if I knew how to. So that's why my thing was there all the while. And here in the UK, it just became more and more of something that I wanted to do. You know, so when it was approaching my 40th, I asked my husband for a sewing machine, the birthday gift. And literally, I came back from work one day and there was one waiting for me in the middle of the house.
Oh, wow.
The sewing machine phobia thing first kicked in, where I had the sewing machine in the box for 2 weeks and would not dare open it. And so after 2 weeks, I went on YouTube and got some fabrics together, and I said to myself, today I'm going to make something. So I waited for everybody to go to bed, because I'm this kind of person. When I'm determined to do something, I don't like voices in my head telling me what I can or cannot do. So most of the time I'll excuse other people, because then my husband will say, oh, you're not cutting it right, you're not doing this. So I waited for them to go to bed and sat down YouTube with no pattern, with nothing. I said, today I'm going to make a pair of shorts. And so I was just going along. The lady was using a pattern of a pre-existing cloth that she had. And so with that, I was able to make a pair of shorts that night. It wasn't wearable, I have to say, because of course there are lots of things that I didn't consider, like the seam allowance. I didn't measure to include seam allowances. I didn't make I wasn't really in that mood, but I was able to make a pair of shorts that if I showed it to you, it would be fit for someone else, but it wasn't fit for me. So since then, I just felt really strong, and I was really, you know, inspired to keep making things. And then one day I made a zipper purse, and my aunt that had been sewing for a bit said to me, oh, you did something with a zip. I was like, yes. And
I know, right?
It's so good. Like, oh gosh, you must be really good. So because of that, I got really inspired to start making things and trying out things. And then when I realized as well that there were patterns to follow, even better. So yeah, that's how I started.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really nice to know. And I like how you just started, like you didn't wait, because sometimes, especially taking a big step like that, you will think, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, or, you know, but I like that you just took the machine and just did it. And then that's like a bold step, and look where we are today. That's amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the comments. I don't want to say your name wrong. Tariq, sorry. Do you know Tariq Ketel? Sorry if I said that wrong. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, said they look lovely. Thank you. Shola is here as well. Thank you. Adeola Fashua. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone that's just joined us. Yeah, we're happy to have you here. Okay, so Fola will carry on with the chat. Before we go, because I'm really looking forward to talking about the fabric, the adire, and all the lovely things that you display on your page and on all your social media platforms. But I just wanted you to tell us so thinking about sewing as a craft and as something you do as part of your business, what's your favorite thing about it? What's it about it that stands out to you?
I'd say, honestly, I never really considered myself as a creative person. I was one of those people that when we did fine arts in secondary school, I'll probably be the 3 out of 10 after trying my very best. So I never really thought I was an arty person. And I never really mentally separated art from craft. It was just all in one. If you're arty, then you should have that creative gene in you to be able to, do something that really stands out. So for me, it was kind of like that. I would say though, in my secondary school, we had, because I went to school in Ogun State anyway, and we had this massive Adire thing that we did. We always did it for speech and prize giving day, and then they'll put out all the good fabrics for the parents to, on a showcase. In my GSS1, one of my stuff got selected. It wasn't like I really knew what I was doing, but I just was a bit more meticulous. And so I really felt like, oh, maybe I could create things, know. And I think for me, it's when you stand back, I don't want to be super spiritual, but I'm many times when I make anything, I get that moment when I'm feeling like, and God stood back and looked at everything he made and he said, I'm bad. That's the feeling. Because when I make anything, really, this came out of you. You really mean this came out of you. And that's the inspiration for the next step, or to do the next step. It's the end of the process, and to see what you've actually created, something that perhaps played with, even things like draping. I've been mentally thinking about, how am I going to do this? How? And sometimes I have a fabric on the mannequin for 2 to 3 days, and it's just there, just resting, waiting for that inspiration of how to finish it to come. And so when I finish, I do get that feeling of, wow, this is so good. And so for me, in the sewing journey, is that ability to create, to release something from the inside, and then to stand back and look at it and applaud yourself, actually, to say you've done well, you could do this, then you could do more, and then use that to push myself for the next journey.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think for me, when I started, I found it difficult to applaud myself, and it held me back until I started to consciously say, this is better than what you made yesterday. Like, well done. You can do better, but, well done. And that really helped me move forward. So I really, really, really understand that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If you have questions for Fola, please put them in the chats, and I know she'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. So my next question is about the fabrics that you work with. Yesterday on the chat, we were talking a bit about sustainability. And I think you work with one of the most ethically sourced, sustainable fabrics that there is on this planet. I mean, some of the, don't let me say that's the only thing you work with. I mean, you tell us, but from what I've seen on your social media. So tell us about fabrics. Tell us a little bit about fabrics.
So a lot of the fabrics that we use are from companies that are based in Africa. So when I was when I was living back home, there was a lot of things that I was blindsided to. General level of poverty on the continent. I was living in Nigeria. We were not well off, but we were comfortable. And there were people around us that struggled a bit, but it didn't seem like a big problem. I didn't really see the kwashiorkor reading people. I didn't see a lot of that in my environment. And so it wasn't a reality to me. And when I got here, it was a big shock. And honestly, I kind of resented it a lot to see, every time they show Africa on TV, you see really all this kwashiorkor reading children, everybody was struggling. And I felt, look, I've just literally left there. I've had to close the doors, and almost all the people that I know, they're not living in affluence, but they're doing well for themselves.
They're okay.
And there's struggles everywhere. People struggle, and then they come out of it better. But for me, that whole platform about how perception was, what people thought about, coming out of Africa and living here in the UK, it's the little things, it's the nuances as well, of how you're perceived as a person, you know, that you can speak English for one, you know, an amazement. What kind of food do you eat? A lot of things. And so when I was rethinking about how to do my business, I thought it made sense to support the companies that were based back home. Of course, I tried to do a lot of research. My house is not too far from Aswani Market, which we grew up around. My grandma had a store there. And so it was something that, you know, I started asking my mom questions about those factories. And unfortunately, many of them are closed now. You know, ask questions about a factory in Kano. Yeah, it's partly open, it's partly closed. It's for specific functions and things like that. And so I said to myself, if the next fabric company, the textile company, is not going to close, it would require some level of support. And, you know, you just need to start from where you are. If I had all the money, I'll probably buy a textile company and employ people and get them to make the fabrics, and then we could sell those. But I'm not there. But what can I do where I am? So I can support, buy their goods, and try to keep their doors open a little longer. And basically, that's been my my motivation to shop African. And in doing that, of course, there are quite a number of suppliers back home in Ghana in particular. They have a bit more factories or companies that are selling. 𝒉𝒐𝒂 company invested there, so you have a couple of their arms, the wooden fabric, GTP. We have Akosombo Textile, which was the previous English works there as well. So they make ABC and a couple of other brands. So for me, it was just that feeling of supporting what is mine. You know, we say in Yoruba, tiwantiwa, you know, what is yours is yours. And if you don't support what is yours, at the end of the day, don't blame other people for not supporting it or putting it over their head. And then you could showcase, look, Africa has other things, other reaching. It's not just diamonds and crude oil. There are things that people do. And these people that sometimes you have to give to, you know, they are doing something about their situation. They're not just waiting to be gifted, you know. So for me, that was my point of view. And in doing that, of course, we found the textile companies, and then we found the handmade industry. And I felt both of them kind of worked hand in hand. It's difficult to compete against advanced technology that they have in Asia, which allows them to mass produce a lot of fabrics when you don't have the same level of support from your government. So when people now decide to do individual pieces and, you know, still create textile, take their time, create something beautiful, I think that needs to be showcased, reported, and people really need to know about it. So that's how we've come about the fabrics that we source.
That's amazing. I really like that. And you're right. The Tiwantiwa you said, like, our things, we need to make noise about it. Like, we need to make a big deal about it and let everybody else know. I mean, the what you were saying about the news and what you see on TV and all of that, that's what the media is projecting about Africa, and that's the only thing many people know about Africa: poverty, kwashiorkor, and all those things. So it's nice for us to, especially those of us that are creative, to bring the creativity of Africa to the world and showcase it as much as possible. And you're doing that so beautifully. Well done. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Just love me. I see you there. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We will carry on with the chat. And I wanted, because I know you've touched a bit on the fabric, but I wanted you to talk a little bit about the Adire fabric. Do you know, I don't even know the difference between Adire and Kampala and batik. To me, they're all the same. I don't know this. So you're the expert on this one. So I'll let you tell.
I think some experts join the chat. But basically, from what I gather, people have different names for different things. And what I understand historically was that there was an African convention of some sort, And a lot of the people that attended wore this handmade, what we call adire. And I think that happened in Kampala or something like that. And so that's where the Kampala, you know, came from. And so many people started referring to it as Kampala, Kampala. Some people also argue that when you do natural adire in indigo, that would be referred to as adire locally. When you do adire in color, and you have, you know, multi shades and things like that, not freehand, that could be regarded as Kampala again, as distinguishing in the market. So there are many schools of thought about how adire has evolved, and these thoughts, they're not uniform, they're not necessarily documented. So we do need to keep saying as many as we know, and then at some point we may gather enough information, and then I'll say the leaders in the industry will decide how they want to do the nomenclature for each of all these products. But then there's adire, basically tie and dye. So something that you see more on the shibori side, that's a bit closer to the Japanese style of, you know, tie dye. And it's indigo based tie and dye. And then you have what we call freehand batik. Might as well show you. So
yes, please.
So for example, something like this, freehand batik, this is hand done. So this is batik. This is all hand done, hand decorated, so to say. So someone hand decorated this, and this is batik. There's this.
Must take a long time to do
it does. Some people it takes a whole day, if not longer. So this is like adire, but this is called adire labere, meaning they stitch on the edges. So they stitch the and then when they do the dyeing, the beads that you get, the whitish beads and some other color that maybe has been pre-dyed on the fabric, comes from stitching. So they stitch it tight, and then they do the knotting to create this kind of effect. So these were sometimes when we buy these pieces, and I know different people have different orientations to this. When we buy pieces like this, and I see the threading, I leave it in, so that people can actually understand.
That's why I've seen it before, but I didn't know what it was.
Firsthand before they give it a wash. So this is
that's interesting.
This is the oldest style. So this is the old ones from like the Abelkuta age. So these are hand decorated as well, but these days these are they use block printing to do this, but not with foam blocks, stencil blocks, and then they use them to create the patterns on them. These are all done with cornstarch. So the batik that I showed you, for example, is done with wax, candle wax. So because the wax is hot and really light, it penetrates through to the other side, so the dye can go through to the other side. With this one is done with cornstarch, corn paste, and because of the thickness of the corn paste, you find that the reverse is usually it looks like it's not dyed. So you do get a sense of plain and pattern from the same and it's exactly, you know, the same shade. Sometimes it's difficult to pattern match pattern, so you use the reverse to create something, and then you use the front end to create something. So this is called arodudu. That's indigo. That's what most people call indigo.
That's right.
So that's indigo, and these are more modern style of, you know, again we'll say this is but this is marbling. So this is marbling. This is like a mashup of colors. Then they scrunch the fabric and create this kind of patterns, you know, and dye them off. So there are lots of different styling. There are other, you know, bits. Oh, I think I've got one which is a block. Oh, sorry. 1 second.
It's okay.
So this is another one that I kept. Again, this is block printed. So this is like a single. This could be done with like a foam print, or this could be done with a stencil print. So basically, when when men started doing adire, initially when the women did it, it was all hand on, all meticulous feather writing. When men came on the scene, men with process, no time to do, all these tiny little things because we need to make money. So men got the commercial bits. They created large stencils that took less time to turn around. So many of the what you find in the generic Abeokuta market is a lot of stencil work. If you move over to like Osogbo market, there are a lot of hand-done batik. Lagos is a mix of everything, and same as like Ibadan. Lagos is more a lot of fancy designs, fancy prints, and I think with adire, that would be the basic, just to recognize, identify basic samples. There's a whole range from which you can choose or catalog, but I'll say these are the basics.
Oh wow, I mean that's adire. What I want to give it a title, like a course that we've just done. Like, I mean, a lot of what you said I've never ever heard before, even though I'm from Nigeria and I'm from Yoruba. I'm a Yoruba girl. I don't know these things. That it's so nice to know, how these things are made and the details. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think one day we will go a little bit deeper, and because I know there's so much more to it. I know you're trying to cut everything short because of the time, but one day we'll come back and we'll have like a deeper kind of
conversation
study. About Ankara. So what I'm wearing, what would you call this? Because I thought this was, can you say?
Yes, I can.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe is it adire of any sort?
It looks Ankara to me. So this looks like a print.
Okay.
This looks like a print.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just the design looks like,
because again, adire has evolved so much that sometimes it's difficult to tell, and I can just see the base, but then I can see with the colors and with the I don't know if you've done any embroidery on it.
No, nothing.
So
this is the way the fabric.
That may look like print. I mean, with adire as well. I have some pieces which we call batkara, which is called batik Ankara. So basically, they buy Ankara fabric and redesign the Ankara fabric, and then you have a mix of a previous Ankara fabric coming out on the other side as batik. So you will find flashes of color of Ankara on it, but at the same time you'll find that new batik flavor on it as well. So there are lots of things that people are doing, creatively in the background, and many of these things are not known, and sometimes people get these products in their hand, they don't understand them, and they trivialize it because they don't really understand the process that goes into it. But honestly, I'm always happy to chat about what I know, and because I work directly with a lot of my suppliers, I'm able to also ask them questions about the process, about certain elements of the job that maybe someone on the other side may not know.
Oh, lovely. Thank you for sharing that. So still talking about the fabric. So what you would, when you think about fabric, you would think of dresses, you think of skirts, wearable stuff. But I've seen your page, and you make all sorts of different things with this beautiful fabric that sometimes when I look, especially when you have a new product that's just come out, I'm like, what? So you can make, you now think, okay, you can actually make different things with fabric that are not like clothes that you wear and things like that. So I want you to talk to us about your creativity. What inspires you to make that lampshade? Mine is still there. I'm coming to get mine. The lampshade, for example, the first day I saw it, I was like, wow, I really like that. What inspires you? What inspires your creativity?
I'll say maybe sometimes Netflix, maybe TV. Many times the truth is this: when I watch TV, I'm always looking at, not consciously, but over time it's become more and more apparent. You watch a scene, there's like 5 lampshades there, you know, 2 in the corner there, 1 in the sitting room, and you're like, wouldn't this be nice if it was at least 1 Ankara print or 1 print? And then, you know, people go into hotels, in and out of hotels, you still have this, you know, beautifully done plain fabric lampshade sitting there. And I think, you know, people just need to think about other ways to use fabric aside the norm. So it's not everybody that wants to wear African prints. And if we're not able to showcase to them other opportunities, that's a missed market, and that's a missed opportunity to let people use African prints. So we need to keep engaging the mentality of people about African print and its use. You know, someone says, oh, that print is too large, I can't wear large prints, but they don't mind a large print cushion cover, you know. A bold print cushion cover. So those are things that, you know, mentally, from, again, maybe when I do trade shows, I talk to people, or they just engage me in conversations, and sometimes people come to me to say, oh, I want to do this, which one of your prints do you think will go nicely with it? And then we stand together, look at the store, look at the fabrics, and then choose something together. And that way it kind of generally orientates me towards the mind of the people in my local community, what they're after, and the things that trigger for them a sense of inclusion in using African print. Because of course there's also, you know, people are afraid of cultural appropriation backlash, so they generally just shy away from using African print or doing anything that has to do with African print. And we need to have those open, you know, conversations and just draw people in and let them say, look, there's nothing to be afraid of, really. We're happy for you to use this print, and, you know, we want you to showcase this. We appreciate you like what we like. And so that for me is the trigger mentally to create all these products. And I know that there are lots of people in fashion business anyways, but this is a space that, you know, your home is where, after you've taken off your really nice clothing, then you're down to your, you know, you're down to your house coat. Your lampshade is still there. Your cotton and your clothes, your cushion covers are still there. So these are the things that you hug and gives you more comfort sometimes than the prestige of the lampshade. These are the ones that really know the sensitive, emotional you. And so it's good to infuse in those spaces that warmth of Africa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is so spot on. And yeah, I really like that you can, you know, use fabric for nearly everything. There's almost nothing that you can't make out of fabric. The creativity in you will just, and I see what you do with all your pieces. I'm like, oh, that's really, really good. Well done, well done. So my next question will now be that, is there ever a time that you don't feel inspired? Is there ever a time that you, like a downtime, or you don't feel creative, or, and what do you do? How do you get your creativity back on?
I'll say many times I do have creativity block. I'm trying to do something. Sometimes I get out the sewing machine, I'm excited, and I start, and it just doesn't feel right. And many times I just leave it aside and move on. If I give it a try once, twice, it doesn't feel right, I pack it up and put it aside, and then try to not think about it. Of course, it will come to bother me because I want to get it fit. With things like fabrics as well, when I'm draping, like I mentioned, sometimes the mannequin is there with the fabric just pinned to the top of it for 2-3 days, because I've you know, there are times where I find I'm doing the same thing, exactly the same thing over and over. And sometimes I feel like I want to bust out of that, you know, circle and do something different. So I just leave it there. And maybe after 2-3 days, I just feel inspired to try something. And then it would really become beautiful again. So there are things that mastered with draping. There are things I'm aspiring to. And so when I want to do something that I'm aspiring to, sometimes I don't feel creative. I don't feel, I just feel like, oh, leave me alone. Like, and you know, sometimes maybe I promise my husband, even face mask, I can't lie, face mask. He'll tell me, oh, but you promised me a new face mask. When am I going to get it? I'll be like, tomorrow, and then tomorrow, because I'm not really feeling that knack to get on the machine to create. Even when I do simple things, I don't have OCD, I have to say, but I like when I make things for them to be perfect. So I do spend time trying to make it as good as I know how to make it. And I think that's me. If I feel a block, I leave it, I'll step back from it, do other things, maybe photograph, maybe upload new things, maybe think of something else, watch Netflix, go to Project Runway, for example, or fashion shows, you know, by, you know, just looking out for something that may just, you know, touch on that life. And once the spark is back, then I'll make something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you always have to find, because you're right. There's sometimes that it's not just, you try so hard, but you're not there. So you have to step back. I do that as well. I step back for a while, just leave it. I'll come back to it, and then that works for me as well. And I must say, your draping, I mean, sometimes I feel like I could get into some of those the designs. Like, they're so nice. They're so nice. And even for me as a creative person, so to speak, I'm wondering, how in the world did you do that? How did you do that? Like that sleeve, how did that happen? Or that neckline, or some pants, like the jumpsuit thing. I'm like, and that's draping. Are you sure there's no sewing there? Like, you're really good at it.
Thank you.
And it's nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much. It's been fun so far. I hope you're all enjoying our chat. Please say something in the chat if you're enjoying it. If you have any questions for Fola, please put it in the comments as well, and Fola will be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us this long. We're nearly at the end, and we're going to play a game. The game we played yesterday. But before we play,
what happened when you said you were going to play a game yesterday? So I left. I said no, I don't want to see the game. I said I don't want to see the game. Just in case. So
just in case. Okay. No cheating. No, it's okay. I've got different things today. It's the same game but slightly different. But it's okay. It's okay. I'll tell you about the game in a minute. But before that, I wanted to ask you, is there any tool or it doesn't have to be a tool, just anything that makes your sewing life or your sewing journey more enjoyable? It could be a tool, it could be a tip, it could be, I don't know, a wall art, just anything that you think, oh, this thing being here or me having this thing makes a big difference to my sewing.
I'll say it's my transparent ruler.
I
really like the transparent ruler, and because then I can use it not blindsided as to what I'm doing. So I'm always using it whenever I can. If I want to do any measurements, of course, these days I'm more on the rotary cutter kind of person. But then I absolutely love my transparent rulers. I feel they make life so easy. I don't know what my mom was using. I don't think I saw her using a transparent ruler. But it does make life so easy.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, it makes a difference, because I have a ruler that is not transparent. It's very long, but it's not transparent. I would rather use the short one that is transparent because I can see everything. Yes. It makes a big, and it is those little things, you know, you just don't know how much. It was until I bought so I saw the ruler that wasn't transparent, and I thought, oh, this is long, let me buy it. But when I started using it, I felt like, no, please bring my other ruler.
Because then sometimes when you have a fabric in between and you want to, because I do all these things, I'm a rule breaker when it comes to sewing as well. I follow the idea, I don't follow the book. So once I know the idea of what I'm going to do, then I do my own thing. Once I just top to bottom, this is it, I do my own thing. So maybe they've said, oh, it's quarter seam allowance, and I'm already thinking I'm going to do my own. So I'm going to add extra to the edge. So when I put it on the cutting mat with the transparent one, I'm able to add something extra and keep it
extra.
But with the dark, you know, non-transparent ruler, you're like, I'm not sure, have I gone off the line?
Is that enough?
Sometimes. So yeah, I think transparent ruler for me is the magic. I absolutely love it. Even sometimes when I don't need it, I just bring it out and just fiddle with it. And
it always has to be close.
You know, you can use it as a mini fan yourself.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my gosh, it's like you're getting in my head. I'm bringing out some things I do behind the. That's the way, isn't it? Yeah, you use it for all sorts of things. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello everyone, if you're still there, thank you for staying with us. We're really close to the end. We're going to play the game, and the game is called This, That, or the Other. So I'm going to show you two tools, and you're going to tell us which of the two you use, and if you don't use any of the two, tell us which one you use instead. So that's the other. So this, that, and the other. So you already mentioned one of the ones I was going to show. I'll still show it at the end.
Okay.
But yeah. So the first two, magnet or cushion for your pins?
Neither. I use my mannequin. I use my mannequin. Okay. So all my pins are on the mannequin anyway. So whenever I want to do something, I just bring the mannequin closer and then pin from you. And whenever I take out the pins, I put it back on the mannequin. So that way they are stuck in a place that I know I can't get lost.
Oh wow, that's nice. Do you know, I've never thought of using the pins from the mannequin, but yeah, that's a good idea. And they're always pinned on the mannequin anyway.
That's
they're
there. So I'll put them back, and
that's good. That's good. If anyone that's still on with us, if you use any of these tools, let's know which one it is that you use and why as well. Okay. So my next one is the next two. So chalk, do you use this slab one or the pencil one?
I use both actually. But I'm more biased to the chalk than to the pencil. Although I have one pencil, not like pencil like this, but it's like the granulated chalk, and then you can draw with it and it drops the chalk bits on your fabric. So that one I use a lot of.
Does that work? I don't know, I've never tried that.
I use a lot of that, but most times I would prefer to use the chalk than the pencil.
This one? Oh, okay.
And a color
one
as
more.
Well. Color chalk over white pencil.
Yeah, colored one, definitely. So on picker, this or this, yellow or red?
Which one has the little bobbing thing, the bubbly stopper? Does the red one have
the small one? The small one has
the Tomby thing. I think it's this one.
They both do. This one has it as well. This one is just bigger.
I don't know.
Let me take the lid off.
I'll probably use the yellow one. I think I have this red one actually, and I only use it when I can't find the bigger one.
Yeah. Also, you prefer the big one?
At the bottom of the bag, I only use it when I can't find the big one.
Oh, Okay, that's interesting. I like the small one. My hands are quite small, so yeah, I like the
I rip
small
a bit and tear a bit and take out the thread to pull a bit longer. I rip a bit,
pull it.
tear a
Yeah,
bit. So that's how I rip.
That's how you do it. Ah, right. Oh, great, great. The last one, I mean, you already answered.
Aha. It depends. Also, rotary cutter for most of the cuts, especially if I'm cutting anything around the edge. Definitely rotary cutter. Scissors was at the beginning, and I felt great using scissors then. But now I think back, how did I use scissors to do all those things? Cutting close to the edge of the ruler. How? Yeah. So, rotary cutter now.
I've never tried this, you know. Maybe I will try. I've never tried. I need the healing marks. I don't have that. I need to get that and
have
try.
those, yes.
You need it, don't you, before you can use the rotary cutter?
Yes.
All right. One last one, since there's no question in the chat. Just one last one before we go. Clippers or scissors?
Scissors, please. I don't even have clippers at all. I don't have them.
Okay.
I see them, I plan to buy them, but it's just never been priority. Like, this is not can do the work. And then, you know, with people that I don't yet, people that have sewing machines that have the thread cutter, so why would you need a clipper, except you really want to snip really close to the edge of the fabric? So yeah, scissors.
Yeah. I mean, I like oops, sorry, there's a call disturbing. I was a scissors girl until before I got this, and I am 100% a clippers girl now.
Yes, I can. Yes.
The call keeps coming in and blocking the line. Yeah, so I am a clippers girl. All right, thank you. So before we go, I want you to tell people. Actually, do you know before as I was getting ready for this session, I was thinking
shopping or shipping. Oh, someone said something about shipping. Pardon? Someone said something about shipping.
Oh, right. Sorry, I may have missed. Have I missed, like yesterday, I missed a lot. Yeah, please, can you? Oh, I've missed. See, I need to get used to this live. I've missed a lot of comments. Oh, Mary Grace, Mimi, Remy, Textiles. I'm so sorry. Jaipur Block. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. See, I'm just getting used to this Instagram live. I've missed a lot of comments. I'm really sorry, everyone. Was there a question there?
Yes. Has it been shipping from Africa to the UK? It's been it's been hectic more recently. It's been more expensive, and this is where the why becomes a bit more important, because honestly, for the price that I pay plus shipping and everything, I'll probably get a lot more goods from China down to the UK. And so many people are put off about shipping issues. I just, you know, I hate to say this, but I'm not a faithful shipper to one company. I trust who has the best going rate in the market, and then use that shipping company. Of course, sometimes there've been some issues where maybe the handling agent in the UK says X is going to be the cost when the goods arrive, and then it is X plus X. You know, and
I know, right?
Send it back to Nigeria, and you can't tell them to keep it for demurrage. So we have to pay out a bit more, and so yeah, shipping has been a bit of a constraint. It makes me wonder how, when you buy things from like Asia, how the shipping is so much cheaper than when you're doing DHL from Africa. It's ridiculous. the price.
No, I don't understand
Price
that.
that we have to
Yeah.
pay for shipping using courier service. But even when you don't use courier service, if you use like a regular traditional shipper, like a shipping agent, sometimes it's really expensive. It is, and customers don't feel that way about it, because the average is about a kilogram. Is usually between 850 950. So 6 yards of Ankara is 1 kilo. So if you're going to pay about £4 a kilo to ship the fabric, and then when it comes to the UK, then they now tell you, you know, you pay admin costs, you pay this one, your seller platform adds their own. It all adds up. But people sometimes look at it like, oh, but it's from Nigeria. Okay, I'm going to ask someone to bring it in for me. And the person that brought it in at no cost. So shipping can be, it's been a bit of a not, and I wish the couriers could work more with independent people to working. Because I mean, you look at how much, you know, when I talk to people, or sometimes I always get in my inbox people from China trying to sell me something, and I'm always interested in knowing how much it will cost in terms of shipping, and it's nothing. If I went to DHL to say I wanted to ship 1 kilogram of something, they'll probably say it's about 27,000 naira a kilo to ship, which is like, so yeah, shipping is a troublesome area, but because we're committed to what we're trying to do, we try to overlook it and adjust the margins appropriately. Again, naira is not helping. One moment is good, the other moment is bad, and once it looks like it's in your favor here, the prices of the other side have gone through the roof. So it's something to continually just, you know, work with.
Right, thank you. I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much. Mary J, sis, I see you there. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, sis. I mean, we're nearly out of time. I know Instagram will kick us out any minute from now. So I want you to quickly tell us how to contact you. Because I know you're on Etsy, you're on Instagram. Please tell us if anyone wants to contact you, buy your products, you know, interact with you, how do they do that?
So anyone that wants to reach me can quickly do so by following the hashtag Diligent Hands Fabrics on Instagram, and all the links to my shopping sites are on there. So it's, you know, just follow Diligent Hands Fabrics, and then you can then go with the, you know, other information in terms of having access to the products that I sell.
Great. Thank you so much. Senator Ola, I see you there. Thank you for being here. Miss Otuyemi, I see you, sis. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everyone. We are now at the end. Before we go, Fola, do you have anything else to say to our audience before we sign off?
I'll just say that, you know, anyone that is serious about helping out in Africa, anyone that is serious about, you know, doing something, bringing some kind of change, should support African goods. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to buy a fabric from me, but you need to support in every way you can. And it's not just goods sold in Africa. That's one way. But if you support traditional businesses that are based in Africa, artists, people that do business there, their livelihood, family depend on it. If you support those, then you're going a long way to eradicate all the problems that we always mention.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I see thank yous. Beyond the Rack, Angie, thank you. Can't wait to have you. She's one of our guests as well, and she'll be here in a few days from today. So, yay! We have lots more guests coming. So, thank you. Thank you so much, Fola, for coming today. Thank you for sharing. I mean, I've learned so much. We can almost write a book on what you shared with us today. Thank you so much. It's been amazing to have a chat with you this afternoon.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day, and catch up on the next live chat, which will be on Monday, I think, if I'm not wrong. yeah, I'll see you all there. Thank you, everybody, for your support, and bye-bye for now.
Thank you for
have a good weekend. Thank you for allowing. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.